Hi there, students. Governance. Governance. So governance is a noun. It's normally uncountable. Okay, governance is talking about administration. It's the way that a country or an organization is managed and the systems for managing a country or a corporation or a charity or all sorts of things. There are different levels of governance. You have local governance, which is your local council, for example. You have the governance of countries. You have the governance of Europe, the European Union. And there is also world governance as well. There are laws and treaties that administer or show how the administration of our world takes place. So governance is the process of making decisions, of enforcing those decisions. It's also making rules and enforcing rules to make sure that the country or the organization or the society is going in the right direction. Good governance is a phrase you will find in many places. It maintains order. It maintains transparency so that you can see how decisions are made, and it ensures that society or a group or whatever can adapt to changing circumstances and can reach its goals. And governance is through laws, through things that are normal in society, through power structures, through money, through family systems, through many different things. And there are all sorts of entities that can govern in all sorts of different places. I think the most common one we see is the public administration, public governance, which is the way that the society that we live in is governed. But there are different ways. You could have a dictatorship with the dictator choosing various of his friends to play certain pivotal roles. You could have a democratic system where people vote for it. But this is the idea of governance. Normally these types of governance, they have a leader, and this works as a top-down method. But you have private governance for companies, or for a school. How does a school make decisions? Well, normally a school probably has a board of governors, and they take decisions about what they're going to do. They decide on the rules. They decide how the money is going to be spent. You can have global governance. Global governance are the institutions, the mechanisms which control how our world develops. I don't know, for example, should there be mining at the bottom of the deep sea? Well, this is a question of global governance. Should there be tourism in Antarctica? Another question for global governance. And then we have governance of charities, governance of non-profit making organizations, which they need to stay viable. They need to decide what they're going to do. They need a way to make decisions, and this is the governance. You have corporate governance, a corporation, a company, where there is a board of directors, or they have various rules. Project governance. If you're in charge of a project, you have a project to build a bridge, but somebody needs to guide this project, to make the decisions, to work out the financing. Environmental governance, how our environment is looked after. We need some sort of policy about our environment and how that environment is actually looked after. Or governance of land governance. Can you own land? How is land owned? The policies about owning land, where you can build, where you can't build. All of these are questions of governance. Health governance, making rules to promote health, to promote national or international health policies. The internet governance, who's in charge of the internet? How does internet develop? Who makes these decisions? And even the governance of meta-governance, the governance of governance. Who decides how governance systems should be implemented? You could have collaborative governance, or governance of armies, or things like that. You can have participatory governance, where everybody takes part in their decisions. You could have regulatory governance, where there is a group that makes regulations for this. There are all sorts of types of governance. Now, this word comes from old French gouvernance, to talking about governing. Okay, so and for formality, this is a business word, it's a political word. I would give it a 6.5 in formality. So use it, semi-formal conversation, semi-formal writing, or something formal. Let's see, we have a Latin word, gubernare, to govern, and an ancient Greek word, kubernao, to steer, to govern, to drive, to direct. So, governance.